Hey everyone, this is Addison from GitBook. Today we're going to take a look at a feature that we just released called GitBook Agent. GitBook Agent is your AI teammate that allows you to work on your documentation and keep your documentation up to date. So let's take a look and dive in. So GitBook Agent works in a few different ways, and the biggest way that it allows you to collaborate with it is inside of a change request. In order to create a new change request, you can always come up here to the edit button, but you'll now see a new button that allows you to implement changes with GitBook Agent. What I want to do is actually document a feature a little bit better that we just released. I'm going to show you in Pages. We just released a new feature called Page Link Title, which allows you to give a different title for the sidebar, the name of the page here, while still allowing you to optimize for SEO at the top in the actual name of the page here. But as you can kind of see, this also works with Git Sync. But what I've noticed is we don't document that super well inside of our GitHub and GitLab Sync documentation. So let's see if GitBook Agent can help us document that. So what I'm going to start by doing is opening up a new change request, but this time with GitBook Agent. And from here, we can describe what we want it to do. So I'm going to say, we just released a new feature, allows you to and you can also see we can add a tag, so we can tag whatever pages or context that we want. So let's go ahead and do pages. We have it documented in Pages, but I'd like you to add it to, and we want to add it to the content configuration inside of Git Sync. So let's go ahead and start this change request. Once you're in the new change request, you'll see the GitBook Agent panel open on the right-hand side, and you'll see it start to think. If we open it up, you can see some of the thoughts that it has and some of the actions that it's going to take in order to update whatever we had asked it to do. So right now it's reading the context and the pages that are relevant to it. And if it's thinking a little bit more, it's just taking a look and trying to find the information that it needs to add. So let's let this think and run for just a little bit. And we can see a little bit more about what it is doing, some of the context and the thoughts that it has on how it's going to structure this documentation. You'll also be able to see what pages it's editing. So as you can see, it is editing the pages that we asked for. Essentially what it's doing is creating a reusable block inside of the page's content of the one that we had created before. So this with page link title, we now see it's reusable content. And if we head to content configuration, we should see that if we scroll down, we now have it documented the page link title. The best thing about GitBook Agent is that it has context to your entire documentation that you have published, but also it has context to all of the GitBook specific items, as you can see, like reusable content, any of the blocks that are available, like steppers or expandable content. And it allows you to craft your documentation just by simply talking to the agent and telling it what you want. What's really cool, though, is you can also ask it anything inside of the GitBook Agent panel. If you ever have it closed and you're inside of a change request, you can simply click on the GitBook Agent window and it will open here. And we can ask it to do a ton more things. We have some prompts inside of the little button down here at the bottom, but we could also ask it to do something like also find any typos on this page. And let's post it here. And we'll let it think for another second. Looks like it's found a few typos. And we can also see any of these changes inside of the changes tab here as well. So we can see the different things that have been changed, etc. So you also see the you'll also see the typos that it fixed along with the extra block that it added. So very, very helpful and useful stuff. The GitBook agent doesn't only allow you to create content and write content and fix content, it also allows you to review your content as well. You're able to request a review on any of your change requests before you're able to merge them by changing this to request a review. But if we hit this, you'll also see that we can ask GitBook Agent to review our request. Let's go ahead and give it a title and describe what we've done. So let's say document sidebar titles. The CR adds sidebar titles to the Git sync documentation. And we're going to request GitBook Agent to review these changes. And let's take a look and see what this looks like. You're able to request a review from GitBook Agent on any change requests, not only ones that are created from the agent. So feel free to check this out and use this to review any of your work. You'll see here that it is reviewing our change request inside of the GitBook Agent panel. And you'll actually see that it looks like it hasn't really found any issues with the things that we've changed, mostly because it actually helped us fix some typos and also only added just a little bit of information inside of here. What's also really cool, though, is GitBook Agent also works inside of comments. So if you are still collaborating with your team on a change request and you have any comments, we could also say something like we can also use this button here to say at Gitbook and say, can we rewrite this to sound better? And it also will work inside of comments. So you can ask it to kind of tidy up specific parts of your documentation or specific blocks if you want it to work on something specific. We'll let this think and see what it says. And it gives us a little bit of a different change, and we can decide if we want to add that in or if we want to leave it as is. Before we merge this, though, I do want to highlight another thing that we shipped with this GitBook Agents launch, which is also very important and very cool. And it allows you to take a look at all of the changes you have inside of an organization at any given time. And that's going to be the change requests screen. And what's really cool about the change request screen is that it allows you to filter through any open change requests and continue to collaborate on them. So this is kind of like a big bird's eye view of all of the changes that are going on inside of your organization. And you're also able to filter them by a number of different ways. So you're first off able to filter them by drafts, review, merged, archives. And then you'll also see a list of all of the ones that are merged, that are open here. And then in the right-hand panel, you'll also see all of the information related to the change request. So the title, the description, any reviewers, participants, what documentation site it's on, the merging status as well, depending on if you have merge rules set up, and all of the different changes that are set up here. And at any point, you can also just merge them right from the dashboard as long as you have the right permissions and the merge rules have passed. You can continue to collaborate on all of these as well by clicking the Open in Editor to head back to the editor view, or even continue to collaborate with GitBook Agent right inside of this view as well. So we don't also have to be inside of a change request. We can also get all of this done right from the change request view and continue to ask it for reviews, collaborate with it, or fix up any content. The last thing that I want to show is what you can also filter this by is any change requests that are yours, but also any change requests that are created by GitBook Agent. Because we had created the change request by describing the changes that we wanted using GitBook Agent, those are going to show up under the Yours tab. However, we do have a panel for GitBook Agent, which allows you to filter through any change requests that are automatically opened by the GitBook Agent. Rolling out shortly and right now is another feature that allows GitBook Agent to proactively create new change requests for your organization by taking a look at any of the tools that you connect, such as like Intercom, GitHub, HubSpot, and it will scan through the context of these different tools that it has, and also the context of your doc site, and suggest changes based on the things that are happening in these other tools. So a very, very cool feature that it will also allow you to continue to make sure that your documentation is up to date without having to do a lot of manual effort. Like I said, it's rolling out slowly. You can always access and take a look at this feature inside of your organization settings under GitBook Agent, and take a look at this section here and request access if you don't have access to it already. You can also head to settings to find out a little bit more information on how you want GitBook Agent to work, the sites that you want it to be enabled on, and so on. So make sure you head back into GitBook, check out GitBook Agent, and start using it in your next change request.